probably worked at odd jobs around for quite a while. I mean, I worked at the grocery stores in O'Connell. I did that in high school and then after high school too. Started at the A&P store. From there I went to the Red Owl store. I did that after high school for a while. And I kind of worked in the woods with my dad, cutting pulpwood and things like that off and on. I was in service. Really, I joined the National Guard and I took basic training out at Fort Ord, California. And I went out there around Christmas time one year. I don't remember what year it was, but around Christmas time. And I wasn't home for Christmas. First Christmas I wasn't home, I was out there. And then from California, the rest of the training was in Louisiana. And then I was in National Guard on active duty for 6 years. It was mostly infantry training.
Okay.
When I ended up in the National Guard, I was a sergeant in mortar squad,
Oh, okay.
81 millimeter mortars. And then after that, let's see what I do. I started work for the state of Wisconsin in 1965, I believe, for the Wisconsin Conservation Department then. And worked fire control I started at the Pound Ranger Station, sat in Fire Tower for 1 or 2 seasons. Most of it was seasonal at that time. It started in the spring, probably 1st of April or thereabouts, until about deer season. I usually worked through deer season, either in fire watch or registering deer at the ranger station. And then I went full-time after about probably 3 years of seasonal. And I worked at Pound for several years. Pound was a ranger station. That was the area station was at Wasaki, and that was a Pound sub-area station. And then the Machickeny one down here in Stiles was a sub-area of the Pound.
I see, okay.
When the fellow retired, which was Fritz Bello at Stiles, retired from the one down here in Machickeny, I moved down here. And I worked down here until, I believe it was, can't remember for sure if it was 76. This ranger station down here was out in the woods where it was all by itself. Nobody was there most of the time, just during the day, and it was heavily vandalized. It was broken into probably at least half a dozen times every year. And it got so that they'd break in and there was nothing there to steal or nothing to damage much. I mean, the equipment was still there, but they didn't know how to use it or do anything with it. And I think it was 76 that they broke in and burnt the place. And I got a phone call at home one night that said the ranger station was burning. And I got out there and we saved the equipment out of it, the truck, the tractor, the trailer. There was a firewall between the office and the living quarters and the garage part, and the door had been put open about halfway. The heat melted the windshield out of the truck and some of the lights and stuff, but it still ran. We could run it out. But then I worked here, and then after that, there I had the equipment at home for quite a while at Coolerville there.
Oh, I see. So when the building burned down, you moved the equipment to your own?
Yep, to home. Then we rented in the Stiles Town Hall. They had a brand new shed that they built, a big shed for graders and equipment, but they didn't have the equipment, so the state rented a stall there. And we kept the equipment there out of the weather, but I still worked out of home. Then I worked with the forester in the office in O'Connell. And that was the office part of it there, and the equipment was still at home until they built the new ranger station in O'Connell Falls. And then I retired from the ranger station in O'Connell Falls.
Okay. 82, your life changed a little bit too?
Yeah,
got married?
Went downhill from there. Yeah, I got married in 82 in October. And that's when we moved here where we are now, and I've been here ever since.
And when you retired, then you tell me about the business with Donna. Then.
Donna was a forester. She worked for Merrimack County Forestry Department, and she also had worked for the state for a couple of years. And after we were married, we couldn't be working in the same building as a married couple. Didn't seem to work right. So she quit and started her own business as a consulting forester. while I was still working for the state, I couldn't help her because it was a conflict of interest, the state said. So since retirement, we've been doing the consulting forestry business together since then, which is 8 years in January, I guess.